Consider this a quick disclaimer of sorts for these episodes. The first 5 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 I watched back for my original reaction channel. However, because corporations suck, those videos no longer exist. And I do want the content of my reaction and the commentary that I provided in the post-episode discussions to exist somewhere just for posterity's sake, I suppose you can say, because I really did enjoy these episodes. I really did enjoy the kind of in-depth sort of analysis that I tried to do on the characters and what was happening and all that. So yeah, I think I might have made these videos freely available on my Patreon. I can't remember, but regardless, here they are on my reaction watch-along channel for people to enjoy. If they do well enough, I may continue watching season 2 because let me be very clear about this. I did not continue watching season 2 offline past these 5 episodes. I still have not seen the rest of season 2, so please, 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 if you are going to comment, and by all means, please do so, do not say anything relevant to the rest of season 2. Do not spoil anything. I have still only seen the first 5 episodes of season 2, that kind of back to the past school days arc, so do not say anything past that in your comments. But other than that, please do remember to like the video, please comment, subscribe, check out other stuff on the channel, all those good things that you can do to promote engagement and interaction with the channel. But yeah, maybe I'll continue past this arc if these videos perform well on this channel, but otherwise just enjoy these for what they are. Hello and welcome, welcome, one and all, as we start watching Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I am ridiculously hyped for this anime. I had a period of about 3 to 4 years where I wasn't watching any anime, and JJK was the first thing I saw when I came back to it. I thought that it would be just like a fun shonen battle anime to get me reaccustomed to the medium, but I was very pleasantly surprised to see that it had a lot more going for it. The characters were way richer than I was expecting. The power system was super cool. The fantasy world that they were building felt familiar without being cliche or tropey. And of course, the fights were incredible, both the animation and the choreography. I haven't read the manga, so I have no idea what's coming, but I am very much looking forward to it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and without any further ado, let's get into it. It may be a new show, but you folks on Patreon are still gonna need a countdown if you want to watch with me, so here you go. 3, 2, 1, go. Starting strong. This floor has no business being animated as well as it is. Oh. Oh yeah, we're starting strong with the animation budget. You'll love to see it. Oh my god, this already looks so good. Barely anything has happened, and this already looks so good. Also, I guess I should say, I'm not completely in the dark about what's happening, because I do know that this is... I don't know, I think it's only gonna be like half a dozen episodes, I think? Woo! But, I did know that we were starting this season with past stuff. This is like Gojo and Geto's school days, right? That day. Oh my god, and the ambient sounds of like the cicadas and stuff just getting louder and louder, that's not exactly an uncommon audio use, but it can still be so effectively done. What are we finding out right now? Oh, how lovely. Lovely. Who are you? Ah, yes, the internet. That newfangled technology. Rip to them. God, the eye tracking was so slow. Like, again, like, you don't have to even include that touch of the eyes, like, following the pedestrians walking through the crosswalk. But, like, not only was it there, but it was so slow, and it, like, that's so many unnecessary frames that just make it look so much better than it needs to. I love it. Also, this white haired character. Yeah, her. uh, we met her in season one, and seems like she was always very focused on money. Seems like she's always been very profit driven. Wonder what her deal is. Is it a chair? Like a desk? Ew. Garbage, what do you mean? A flashlight. Huh? Wait, why doesn't she need a flashlight? Oh my god, this again, like, this doesn't need to be this smooth, and I love that it is. Ah, this is why I was expecting so much from Hell's Paradise. Because, like, look at what Mappa's capable of doing. Hopefully, I still haven't finished season one, and it got renewed for a season two, so hopefully it can wow me in the last few episodes. But enough of talking about that. I want to see more of what is going on here. And I do very much mean that I want to see more. Because, God, these visuals. I will not shut up about how great this show looks until it stops looking so great. God, be more nervous. Jump scared by a mirror. uh, this looks. This room looks too well kept. Is that a footstep? What's going on? What's happening? It's gonna be like a rat or something. She's gonna get scared by something inconsequential, and then the curse is gonna show up afterwards. It was three rats. uh, wow. Why is she here? Not wrong. What? Uh oh. Yes. These are all common objects. What is your point? That's probably not great. Oh, now that was a cool visual. That was really cool. Oh wow, that was such an interesting way to impress upon the viewer the looping and like cyclical nature of the labyrinth that they're trapped in. Oh my god, and this is another they're not moving the camera. They are showing us this same window, and as the characters are conversing, they keep walking by it over and over as they're trying to make progress. But we can see they're clearly not. This is so good. This is this is really good stuff. Oh, good on her paying that much attention. I agree with her assessment. Not sure if I agree with that part. Then it'll make it harder for them to patch it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Because they have to try to the spirit will have to try to cover more space. That'll require expending more cursed energy and just greater layers of complexity that'll be harder to maintain. Makes sense. Makes sense. My question: maybe there's some obvious reason why they don't go this route. Um, what happens if they just try to break through the wall? Was this a safe solution? Ooh, maybe not. Did they just destroy the building by doing that? What an outcome. He's here. Gojo. Opening. Ooh, let's see this new opening. Season 1 had some really good openings. Hidden inventory, premature death? Is that what this little past arc is called? Oh my god. I I'm almost already disappointed that this isn't like a full core. I would love for this to be like a whole 12 episodes unto itself. Holy, that guy looks shredded. Oh, that's. Oh my word. I feel like the big point of this arc is showing us is about showing us how close Geto and Gojo used to be. And I feel like this opening does a really good job of that before we even like get to the actual show. Before we even examine what's going to happen in these episodes. I feel like the moments that were shared between them in that opening are enough to show us that like they really did used to be Great friends. Best friends, I believe. Never mind, help me. Jeez. Demeanor instantly changes. Shoko! Aww. She doesn't look exhausted like she does as an adult. uh. Oh, that's unfortunate. May, were you aware and just okay that that was happening? Oh, so she didn't care because money. Veil? What veil? You two didn't use a veil. Why did they need to use one? Oh wow, it's this guy. Uh, the lump on his head. How diligent of him. This is this feels so weird because it seems like pretty much everything that we've seen from everybody so far. Yeah. I was about to say that everything from everyone we've seen so far is just has just been so carefree and we suddenly got a bit of a mood shift. Interesting. Tengen sama. Huh? That's the like the tree person, right? Who keeps up the barrier around the school? Yeah, yeah. Classic Gojo. Okay, so yeah, this is the guy that I thought it was. And are they gonna fail this mission? Oh my god, the Digimon reference. Oh my god, I love that. And I perfectly understood that analogy that he used because I'm a Digimon fan. But yeah, I feel like when they talked about him in season one, they said like he's basically not human anymore. So I don't know, that seems slightly different than how they're talking about him right now. So I wonder if they fail. Hmm. To the vending machine. The animation on these two just lazily loafing through the street right now. Yeah, that scene at the basketball court was really interesting because the tensions between these two. Yeah, no, that ain't happening. I'll bring it up again later. Oh, dang. Quick thinking. And out he goes. Yeah, no. Are you gonna so completely uninterested in this attempt at his life? Wait till you see him in a few years. It's nice to see that he was always like this. Zenin? What? Not a Zenin anymore. What? Oh. Oh, okay. Ushiguro. Wait, I'm sorry, what? Episode 25. Oh, they're just continuing the count from last season, I guess. Okay. I was really confused for a second. All right. Is there going to be anything after this outro? I'm going to watch the outro, but okay, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything after it. So let's just chill and enjoy the outro. All right, that was episode 1 of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I think it probably goes without saying that I liked the episode. I feel like I couldn't shut up about how good I thought the animation was for probably the first half of the episode, and beyond that, I also talked a little bit, started to touch on like characterizations and character dynamics and stuff that we were getting, but I feel like we are just starting to scratch the surface of those in the actual show. And even still, there's already so much that I could talk about and analyze. And I'm going to do that a little bit in the Patreon version of the episode, which, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm actually going to make the Patreon version of this episode in particular available to the public, and you don't have to be a patron to view it. So feel free to check that out. Link in the description below if you want to see what those extended discussions are like, if you want to see what the full reactions are like with just the timer and not the episode on the screen, and just maybe consider supporting me on there. But even if that's not something you're interested in, I appreciate you watching here on YouTube. Do remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you are not already, and until I see you in the next one, take care. Bye-bye. Okay, Patreon, like I said, I feel like this first episode already gave us a lot to talk about, and I'm not entirely sure where to begin, but let's just give it a go. First and foremost, I feel like it bears repeating just one more time that the production value we are already seeing in this first episode is incredible. The animation looks amazing, and one thing I want to mention here, because I don't think I did at any point during the episode, is that they also seem to be making use of different sorts of animation during different scenes in order to try to emphasize different things. Like, that scene that I kind of pointed out with Gojo and Geto walking down the street, kind of looking all goofy. It was animated, I don't know necessarily how to describe it, almost like their character designs were looser in that episode to sort of emphasize the easygoing nature of them just kind of going about their day. Even though they were on a mission, it's trying to drive home the point that this is how they live their lives. And I think that's probably a good way to segue into talking about their lives and the way that they view their lives and live their lives. Because on the surface, we see a Satoru Gojo who is very familiar to the one that we know from season 1. And at first glance, I think we see a Geto who is very similar. They both seem to more or less be teens who are enjoying the fact that they are very powerful and good at what they do. This isn't your standard shonen underdog story. This is a couple of characters who recognize how powerful they are, they revel in it, and because of it, they view themselves as the protagonists. And while it seems like they do so in a largely lighthearted way, we do get glimpses that Geto's already got more going on. I don't necessarily mean that he's already got some sort of diabolical plan or schemes that he's working towards. More so just that he's thinking about things in a deeper and different way than the people around him seem to be. I kind of thought that this arc was going to show us some sort of defining moment that served as a turning point for Geto, but while it might still do that, I feel like it's going to be more so trying to showcase to us that Geto was always going to be going down a different path than Gojo. During that scene in the gym, Geto is trying to push Gojo to have a more serious conversation with him about the way that the world functions and the role of Jujutsu sorcerers in the present system and all these wider, grander notions. And Gojo just could not care less. He says straight to his face, is this some kind of moral argument? I don't care about that. And then later when they're on the phone, Geto's trying to urge Gojo to be more respectful and arguably more professional and mature in the way that he interacts with others, particularly his seniors. And there are a number of reasons why he might be trying to do that. It could be that Geto has certain ideals about the way that the Jujutsu sorcery world works, and he wants Gojo to better embody those ideals, since he knows that Gojo has the very real potential of being a major player in that world. And it could also be something more akin to him wanting Gojo to be better at politicking, because he recognizes that with his power he could rise to be some kind of major leader, but very likely won't be able to do so if he doesn't learn how to play the game, so to speak. These little bits and pieces of nuance and depth that we're already getting about who Geto is as a person, I have to assume are going to continue to pile up over the course of this arc and give us a hopefully more fleshed out understanding of who he is when we initially see him in season 1. Not only season 1, but also who we saw him being in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, because that was somebody who has a very stark view of how they want the world to proceed from its current place. And the way that they're going to bridge these characters from two different periods of time is going to be very interesting to see. And something else that's interesting at the moment is I don't think we're really seeing Geto coming from a place of stereotype, so to speak. Whereas a lot of the kind of villainous or antagonistic characters that you see, not even necessarily just in anime, in media, tend to have very similar origin stories oftentimes. But at the moment, I don't think Geto really falls into that. He's not a loner, and he's not even just relying on one person as a friend. We can see that not only is he on very good terms with Gojo and has a very good relationship with him, but he doesn't seem to have any issues at present with interacting with people like Utahime or Shoko or Mei or any of the other characters so far. And I think that that not only sets up an even better backstory for this character, but also with what time we do have left in this arc, gives us the potential for a lot more interesting dynamics between these different characters, especially if the trajectory of this arc is showing us how Geto does become a quote-unquote villain. What happens between him and the other characters that causes this change? If it's not something caused by the other characters around him, then if it's some outside force, how does his decision or departure from previous behavior affect those people who he, until that point, was friends with? Speaking of those other characters, I wonder to what extent we're actually going to be spending time with those other characters. Because again, to my understanding, this arc is not terribly long. And so I would assume that we're going to spend that time mostly focused on Gojo and Geto. But how does Shoko fit into this? How does Mei fit into this? How does Utahime fit into this? How do any of these other characters fit into this? Shoko in particular, I'm personally pretty curious about because she's in a trio with two other characters who we know to be ridiculously powerful. Is she just kind of like odd man out? Like, is she just kind of tagging along, or is she also kind of insane in her own right? Like, I don't really know because we don't really see that much of her in season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, right? She's like a coroner. She was getting ready to do an autopsy on Itadori before Sukuna brought him back. And I think that's about all we see of her, right? So how does someone who was running with the likes of Gojo and Geto become a bit of a non-character? I feel like there's got to be more to her than just that. I feel like I don't know if she's necessarily as strong as them, but I feel like there's got to be more to her that is yet to be revealed, either in this backstory during this arc or maybe later on as we move further into season 2. Then there's this Vessel character, and I don't know to what extent she's going to be an actual character versus just a plot device. And that guy we saw towards the end there, calling himself Fushiguro, I feel like we have to expect a lot out of him given that name recognition. I feel like there was probably more I wanted to say, and even what I did say, I think I wanted to say a bit more eloquently. However, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there because this recording is already super long since the player messed up several times as I was watching the episode and I had to reload it and change that, and it was just a major pain, unfortunately. So I want to be able to edit this in at least a somewhat timely fashion, so we're going to call it there. I am very much looking forward to continuing this season. I don't know, but can't wait to see where this arc takes us. And then, of course, I can't wait to see what the next arc is going to entail once we get back to present time. Regardless of any and all that, if you did watch this, and I appreciate your support, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.